Furious Driving, proud to be supported by Diamond Bright, protecting, cleaning and caring for the Furious fleet and for yours with 10% off using code FD10. Follow the links in the description below. Oh. Hello and welcome to Furious Driving, and this is a Kia EV6. Oh, it's chilling my back. That's quite weird, but quite nice at the same time. Right, now this is one of the most distinctively and interestingly styled EVs on the market at the moment. For my money, it's actually one of my favourites in terms of look. Now, I've only got this car for a few minutes and I've never driven one before, so I'm going to give you as many as my first impressions of this car as I possibly can, and hopefully I'll better get back in one very soon to give a fuller, more rounder review of it. Honestly, this is a car I've been quite excited to drive for a while because I see them out and about and it's just something that's quite striking on the road. Wow, that is some quite fierce acceleration. It's very, very impressive. For a big, well, I'm imagining fairly heavy car as well. That's not bad at all. This particular model is the all-wheel drive 321 horsepower version. This car has permanent magnet synchronous motors at its heart, coupled with a 77 kilowatt LiPo battery, and typical of, well, pretty much every EV out there, you can feel the weight of it as you go down the road, but it's controlled pretty well, I would say. I've turned the aircon down pretty low. I'm not 100% sure how I turned it on, but I've currently got cold air blowing up through the seat, which on a day like today is very, very welcome, but was a slight surprise and did make me question whether I'd had an accident or not at first. I'm still not sure I haven't. The dashboard is really interesting. We've got a huge flat T-shelf area away from us with a big cutout for the heads-up display reflecting up on the windscreen ahead of us. And starting from beyond the centre line of the car, we've got this big bank of screens, which is a love it or hate it thing. Some people will absolutely adore it. I know people who hate the stuck-on screen look will be going apoplectic right now. That's all your sat-nav radio information on your left-hand side. Your speed and your range is here on the right. I'm currently doing 54 miles an hour, 219 miles of range left in the battery. Last break 6 minutes ago, apparently. I thought we'd been on the road longer than that. It does, however, have the scourge of modern cars of lane keep assist. I press and hold that button, does that go away? Yes, oh thank goodness. Turn that pest off, we don't want you. But this is very heavily styled in a very interesting way, which I really do quite like. We've got what looks like a full width vent starting all the way over here, carrying on all the way to the driver's door. It's not completely all vents, it's only 4 vents in the usual traditional places, but we do have a continuation of these diagonal stripes in the pattern underneath there. And we have a touchpad underneath here. Okay, it's not real buttons, but it is individual controls for all of the basics for the car. So we've got actual knobs for the ventilation, temperature, and we've got touch points for the fans and that kind of thing. Then in the centre, dividing the passenger and the driver from each other, we've got this great big floating armrest thing, in the middle of which we've got heated and cooled seats. We've got the heated steering wheel control in the centre. I don't think I'll turn that on today. Level 3 cooled seat now, that's good. And fighter pilot style, we've got our thumb button here for the power of the EV to fire up, and then to chunk us into drive, reverse or neutral, because being an EV, it's not got a traditional gearbox. We've got this rotating dial here with a P button in the centre. The only problem with this is it's a little yellow LED behind each of the R&D logos, and it's not that easy to see on a bright day like today. The car drives really nicely. It absolutely just flows through these long sweeping bends. It's interesting when you climb into the car, it does slide the seat forward for you. I've just noticed back here, we have got an inductive charging pad behind the gear selector, which is nice. We've also got a couple of cup holders in here. We've got a little tiny storage area where you can hide your keys. And we've got an enormous storage bin underneath it as well, with a pair of power outlets. There's a USB and a regular 12 volt. The heads-up display is nice and it is useful, though it is a tiny bit distracting if you're turning your head to look out of a junction, though, because it's quite bright, so you catch your eye with it and then you think something is coming. These seats are lovely with their Alcantara-like material perforated to let the heat and the cooling breezes blow through. There are some cool touches around the outside of the car. It's a very sleek looking coupe style car. Even the door handles are completely flush, so that when you unlock the car, they pop out slightly to present themselves so you can get into the thing. You do feel you're sitting quite high in the car, and it's got enormous, frankly huge wheels, which do sort of pick up the tram lines in the road a little bit, and you can feel the car fighting to correct it on your behalf underneath you. Oh, this is cool. Now I'm indicating, it's put up a camera to show what's on my right hand side in case any bikes or things are trying to overtake me. Oh, by the way, we're in the New Forest. There are literally horses roaming across the street right now. This is very much old world meets new. I do think it's really cool that Kia are willing to take a chance and style something like this so interestingly and differently. It is a big car, it's 4.7 meters long, but that means there's loads of space inside and lots of practicality. There's a lot more to explore with this particular model, so hopefully we'll get a chance to take a more in-depth look before too long. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and see you again soon driving something completely different.